Alert Level 3 remains in effect over Taal Volcano due to its continuous unrest. Vulnerable groups may start getting their fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccines next month. And oil companies are again expected to raise the prices of fuel in the coming days. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Charles Lejano. Hundreds of families are staying in evacuation centers in Agoncillo, Batangas amid Taal Volcano's unrest. But some residents have opted to stay in their homes. Camille Samonte with the story.
Some residents in Agoncillo, Batangas immediately evacuated following Taal Volcano's phreatomagmatic burst on Saturday. 60-year-old Carmelita only packed a few clothes and a bag of rice when they left home. Their house was just 7 kilometers away from Taal Volcano.
Siyempre ho kami ay talagang lumikas at baka nga ho kami abutin ng ang iba nga ho sa may banyagay na ulan na ng putik.
Losha, meanwhile, is afraid that her house will be destroyed again, like what happened in 2020.
Napakahirap po sa kalooban. Nababago gawa bahay nyo tapos gayon nangyayari.
Despite the threat of Taal Volcano, some residents opted to stay at their homes, like Gigi, who still opened their eatery.
Dahil pagka po naman nasa bakwitan, wala po naman pakita. Ano pong aming financial pagkagayon po.
Kaya mas gusto mo stay ka?
Oo, pagka po na ito, nakita kahit kakunti.
Livestock farmers also went back to their homes to feed their animals. They said they cannot just abandon their livelihood.
Mahirap, may maiwan ng hayop. Narito ang aming hanap buhay. Natatakot. Hindi natin masasabi kung kailan puputok ulit.
All activities in the Taal Lake were suspended as the volcano remains under alert level 3. Some residents, however, are still fishing.
Ay narito ho ang hanap buhay ho. Nangangamba rin ho. Di alis doon na lang ho.
FIVOC says magma is moving slowly in Taal and will likely continue in the coming days.
And this would continue in the next several hours or days. We have not seen the uplift of the volcano island, which would warrant interpretation of the possible magma from depth rising towards the surface.
The agency warns those residents still not evacuating to be alert and prepare their vehicles in case the situation escalates. For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
More individuals and groups are throwing their support behind their presidential bets. Misamis Oriental's Team Unity announced their support for the presidential bid of Vice President Leni Robredo in the 2022 polls. Ticket leader and gubernatorial bet Juliet Uy said Robredo is committed, virtuous, and principled. Meanwhile, more than 300 doctors from General Santos City and nearby provinces are backing Marcos Jr. The group says they believe that the Uniteam ticket can strengthen and support various programs for the health sector. We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Good evening, Yusek. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Health Department plans to start administering a fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccines by next month. Let's now get more details from Yusek Mir Nakabutahe, who also heads the National Vaccination Operations Center. Good evening, ma'am. Thanks for spending some of your time with us this Sunday evening. Let's talk about this fourth dose. Will this rollout be limited? And if so, who are set to be the first recipients of these vaccines?
Good evening, Sir Charles. Yes, the fourth dose is forthcoming. We are awaiting the approval of the EUA from the FDA, and from then we will have our guidelines. The initial proposal of the expert is to give this to those who are most vulnerable to severe forms of COVID-19. So this will include our immunocompromised, A3 with comorbidity, especially the immunocompromised, and those who are exposed to high COVID-19 cases like our healthcare workers and even our airport personnel.
Yusek, I'd like to know whether the public can expect more booster shots to be administered during a year, or is a once-a-year COVID-19 vaccination acceptable?
We will look at how the developments will go. We are still ramping up our first and second doses for those who have not received their first and second doses, and a third shot or the booster. We are still only at about 11 million third shot or the booster doses. We still need to give the boosters to our 18 and above population.
Yusek, I have just one last question before I let you go. Could you share with us the latest COVID-19 trends here in the Philippines? I understand that elsewhere in Asia, there's still a lot of cases to deal with in terms of COVID-19, but are the cases still on a steady downward trend here in the Philippines?
Yes, the statistics show they're on downward trend, but we cannot put our guards down. Now that the cases are down, we need to have the vaccinations done and continue our minimum public health standards and being vigilant in our borders.
Thank you again for your time and your usual insight. That was DOH Undersecretary Ms. Mir Nakabutahe.
Thank you. Good evening.
After just 1 week of respite, oil companies in the country may soon raise the prices of fuel according to industry projections. Diesel prices are expected to increase by 8 pesos and 30 centavos in the period of March 29 to April 4. Meanwhile, gasoline prices may increase by up to 3 pesos and 10 centavos. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Do check out our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.